welcome back, everybody, to Color Break, your third favorite comic book podcast. This is number 48, dude.
It's
Two
a
more
big
to the big 5-0. I am your host, as always, Kody Collects. I'm here with my co-host, Christian Comic Book Stash. Dude, how you doing?
How's it going, buddy? You pointed out on a video of mine the other day that I should not be Comic Book Stash. That I should just be Book
Christian.
Stash.
Oh, yeah, Book Stash. Right.
But I don't think I fit either of them now.
Just not even Stash or not even Book? Not even comic book?
Just Book.
just Book.
I'm here with my friend Book.
I don't know, dude. You still read comic books from time to time. I mean, we're gonna be talking about comic book related things in this episode.
I can do this. I can just cover the bottom half of my face.
I guess so, dude.
Pretend like I didn't grow a full beard.
Listen, dude, give him a rundown. What are we talking about? What are the three in this episode?
The three? I got it right
three
here
topics.
You did send it to me, so that's good. We got to talk about the Fantastic Four.
Yep, the trailer just came out.
Not the movie. We have not watched the movie. We're not that cool. We're going to talk about MegaCon, right?
No, not in this one.
Okay, so that's the next one, guys. Stick around. Kody.
All right, I'll give you the rundown, guys. We're talking about the FF trailer. Fantastic Four. The trailer just came out about maybe 2 weeks ago. Very interesting stuff going on with the Marvel Universe. We're also talking about 3 Batman stories that you can buy on stands right now at your comic book store. Because Christian's not reading that many comic books, as we kind of alluded to in the intro. Yeah. So I got to recommend him.
I've been catching up.
3 Batman stories. Because, the common thing people say is like, oh, there's way too many Batman books on shelves. DC only does Batman, which it's not a lie. But listen, guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of Batman stuff, but it's some of the best stuff I'm reading. So I got 3 of them that I want to recommend to Christian. And then the very tail end of this, we're going to talk about a movie that just came out.
Yeah.
Just now, dude. Hot off the presses. The latest MCU film. Rife with controversy, dude.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the new Captain America movie. But listen, if you guys, don't want to hear about it, that's going to be at the end. So don't worry about it. Yeah. Use the chapters down below to skip. All right. So those are the 3 main topics. Christian, what do you think, dude? Packed episode.
Let's go to the Fantastic Four.
All right. You just want to jump into it? All right,
Marvel's first family. I mean, you want to update them? We haven't recorded in a while. Okay. We've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been busy. Cody's like stuck in the middle of a snowstorm every day.
Right. If we're talking updates, I mean, that's the biggest update is just there's a ton of snow. As a welcome back to Maine.
His table disappeared outside.
Yeah, the outdoor furniture was left out over winter. Probably not the best idea. It's covered in snow. I'm trying to think of another update from me just for very quick stuff. I mean, we're doing stuff over on the YouTube. Definitely check it out. We're doing new Comic Book Day videos every Wednesday.
I made a video since last time we...
That's true. Christian's made a video.
Yeah.
Make sure to check it out.
Went to the Renaissance Fair. That was pretty cool. And now I'm learning how to skateboard. So that's fun.
Skateboarding video. Yep. So stay tuned, guys. I don't know. We just want to do quick housekeeping. Keep you guys up to date with our other ventures besides the podcast. But so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess let's go for it. It's a quick one,
I guess so, dude.
No time to waste with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Fantastic Four trailer. I want to show it on the screen. I guess Christian's against it for some reason, but I want to show it.
Yeah,
that way we can talk about it as it's going.
Play it. No audio.
Doesn't have to have audio. No audio.
They get together every Sunday, 7 p.m. We get it.
I mean,
it might be a different day. It's funny.
All right, dude. So talk about your general thoughts while this is going, dude. The Fantastic Four trailer that came out a couple weeks ago.
He should get a suit tailored. No, I'm kidding. I like the vibes. I think that's my favorite part of the movie. Like, they really stuck to the vibes in a really nice way. I think I'm going to say my thoughts about Ben Grimm afterwards. I do think it's a good design. I think it's the best Ben Grimm we've had. But I want to give a hot take right now and say that we haven't had a bad Ben Grimm design.
Okay.
Truly, I just
I
think
saw
the
like
fin.
I saw someone do a picture of all of them lined up. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
Nothing's the worst thing in the world when
nothing.
it could
It
be
wasn't like
easily.
painted on. You know. Like,
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah.
I think the voice could be a bit deeper, but also
Oh,
like
for Ben's, yeah.
who's to
Okay.
say that's we read the comics? It's not like it says in a deep voice. It's just
Hmm.
dialogue. I think Johnny is interesting because I do like him as an actor. I don't know how I think he fits a version of Johnny that's not the one I know because I haven't read many Fantastic Four books. I think it's more like the goofy side of him, playful, and I know like the womanizer one they introduced in the movies from 2006. Um, but I think it's a great trailer. I think we have Galactus is an interesting choice, and I think I
Right,
have my theory as to why. But I think the biggest thing is the oh my god, there you are. The biggest thing about having the 50s aesthetic is, of course, it's not the same universe.
right.
And I have my theory as to why, Cody.
Yep.
Do you have your? I think we might agree on this one.
No, I like the theory that's going around. I mean, I don't subscribe to like
Yeah,
my own theory. I mean,
no, it's
just
the same one. I think it's just gonna Galactus is gonna die. Is gonna win. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think they're beating this, but I
Right,
see more as a like he's gonna be sort of like the Hulk in Infinity War when he comes in and he's like, Thanos is coming. I think he's gonna
okay.
come to the main Marvel universe and say something like that. Sort of like Fantastic Four life story. We read comics, where life story was about him preparing for Galactus's whole life,
Right.
sort of like consuming him. And I think that's sort of what we're going for in this movie. Like they're gonna lose. They're not gonna win. And
I
I
got
think
you.
he there was like a worm tunnel, like a black hole, like he was like working on that whiteboard, and I think that's him trying to figure out how to leave that universe.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I mean that's like the most obvious
Yeah,
way this is gonna go. So I don't think that that's
I I don't
out
think
of the
it's a
question for
smart.
sure.
It's not like a smart theory on my side. It's just like the only theory.
Yeah, in terms of like just my general thoughts on the trailer, right? A great first look at the Fantastic Four family. You mentioned Johnny Storm's character. I mean, we don't really to me in this trailer, we don't get like enough of him like very much at all. I don't think does he even say a line in this? I don't even think he does,
Yeah,
right?
he says hi.
Oh, he says hi. Okay, cool. Well, I don't it's not enough for me to be like, "Oh, okay, he's like the Johnny or he's not." Very cool use like the visuals with his powers are
Yeah,
pretty cool.
the
Him
the
like
the
oh
lens
flying in the
flares.
air we're seeing right here. Yep, yep.
We get lens
The
flares when
very
the
edge of
fire
space, dude.
approaches. It's a good.
Um
It's a solid trailer. I think my favorite thing of the trailer is them not showing us Reed's powers, and
I don't know. That's you think that's like your favorite part of the trailer?
I think it's the smartest thing in the trailer. Why? It's been a big thing that they're gonna mess him up. They're gonna make him like a Mollycon. You know how that's been a big
To me,
fear.
it's that they're not confident in how it looks. So to me, it's kind of a negative. It's like they don't even
I
know what it
think
looks
to
like yet.
me,
So
for me, it's marketing. It's like people were like waiting for it because that's the only power people were like. Listen, about as for Ben Grimm, we were just
do
interested in
people
the
care
look.
about his power like that much? I guess they're like worried
I
about it because they did it to
yeah
Miss Marvel.
yeah. So I
Is that
think
what you're
people
saying? I
been
got
yeah
you.
people have been mentioning it like, oh, I hope they don't ruin it. Hope they don't ruin it. And
Right.
they were like waiting to see. They were waiting to see two things: Ben Grimm and his powers. Like the Sue's powers. No one was
Right.
like dying to see them. We know what they look like, and yeah, they made a really cool like stylistic choice with them. But it's still
Yeah.
Sue's
Kind
powers.
of like
Yeah,
the shifting visuals are cool.
yeah. Johnny's powers, they're Johnny's powers. Like same thing. They're not going to change
Right.
much. But
So
Reed,
right. No, it's a good point. Like that's kind of like teasing it. Okay, that's a good point. I could
it's
see it that
marketing.
way
You know, they're just
for
trying to
sure.
get you to watch it, and now people are going to be like, "Oh my god, they didn't show him. Oh, new
Sure.
teaser coming out. We got to watch this." It's
I
just
gotcha. That makes sense. So for me, right, you mentioned the kind of the retro aesthetic. That's got to be my favorite part. Absolutely. I
yeah,
think the
and
retro
I love
feature is
Herbie.
like such a cool look. Yeah, just like I don't know, it's it's otherworldly. It's like sci-fi. It's got Herbie
Yeah,
rolling around. It's
I love the
I don't know,
suits.
dude. The suits are very
Um,
cool. I like
am I,
the look of them. I like how they're kind of like they look
yeah,
cozy. They look comfy.
I feel like I could buy it and rock it. You know?
Right. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like Aeropostale or something does a
Yeah.
jumpsuit or something. Yeah.
My fear, my not fear. My only complaint about Grimm is not so much the look of him because I think he looks perfect. I think
Yep.
it comes to like VFX. I think he's too smooth. I don't know if
Too
it's the
smooth.
like
Like his animations too
yeah,
smooth.
like the frame rate. I don't know what it is. Like he looks too smooth for someone made out of rocks. There should be some
Mm.
more like I don't know if
Like
it's like
heft to him.
yeah, like I don't know if it's like inertia or something. Like the bigger you are, the slower you are.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean that not to like we'll talk about it in a movie in a topic later on, and I want to get into it too much, but that kind of relates to I don't know something with Marvel VFX, something with their physics of it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Is kind of like what you're saying, where like visually it looks great, but like it doesn't feel it doesn't have like that oomph, that real like
it's like the uncanny
3D
valley of it
space.
all because I can recognize like this is a man made out of rocks, but he's like him like putting his finger in his mouth to taste like the soup or
Mm,
whatever, too quick, too smooth, and that's just
I
a
gotcha.
VFX thing.
Interesting.
And
Yeah, I wonder if they'll like kind of tighten it up as the movie. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, maybe someone who knows more about like special effects can come up to me and be like, "You're an idiot," and okay, but that's at least as a viewer, that's
And
how it
then
feels.
the other thing you were mentioning too is Ben Grimm's voice. That was something that I had noted to you right after the trailer came out. Was it to me? It sounded like not even he's doing his because I've listened to him in interviews and stuff like that. It seems like he's toning it down even from that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like he's like two notches from even his
yeah.
normal self, which is of course not as crazy as his character in the Bear, which some people were expecting him to like be totally wacky, like that, and I
I
didn't
do think
expect that,
it
but I
was
did.
fun to see him interacting with food as the first thing he does.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. It kind of is like a little wink and a nod to
Yeah.
all the Bear fans out there. I mean,
Where
obviously
my
you got
bear head's at.
Favreau, right? You got the chef, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's
I
some
think
they
I
like to
think
cook around here.
it's a really good trailer. Like teaser.
Yep,
I have no complaints. The things I'm pointing out are not complaints.
I got you. Yeah, yeah.
They're
I like that
observations.
it seems like this one has like a full on vision and it feels like they're leaning into it. Like they're
Yeah.
confident that the vision works. They're like, all right, we're cooking here. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, um, yeah, it is interesting that I don't know. I mean, just kind of thinking about how it will fit into the rest of the MCU, that is kind of like where we'll have to see. But almost, I'm kind of glad it's in its own universe at least to start. That way, they don't have to rely on anything else. Like they can tell their own
Yeah.
individual, not origin story, but first ever time seeing these characters in a really long time. So I don't know, dude.
I
Fantastic
think it.
Four guys.
I'm excited, dude.
I'm excited,
Eh,
man.
Yeah. Um.
The question that I want to know from like when we're at a con, right? I think it would be kind of funny if we go around. Uh,
Yeah.
I think I saw someone doing this. I don't want to pretend like I came up with this idea.
No. No.
But
Go
you
for it.
ask people Fantastic Four or Superman, right? To see which one they're more excited for coming out. What's kind of like your sense, your general consensus on the streets, dude, as it
I'm.
were? You're
I.
listening. What
Oh,
do you
like
think?
listening. I think it
What do you
really
think
depends.
people are
It's a
more excited
preference.
for?
It's a preference
Yeah.
thing. I don't think. For example,
Mm.
my dad is more excited about Superman,
Okay. Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think he also grew up with Superman more. You know.
Yeah, maybe like the older comic fans, maybe more excited about the Superman, maybe the newer MCU kind of superhero fans more excited about
Yeah,
Fantastic Four,
I'm
maybe.
more excited about the Fantastic Four because
Interesting. Okay,
I grew up with them.
I
And I
gotcha.
feel like we've gotten
Like the
so much.
classic, the movies.
Okay, I'll say this.
Yep.
I think it's a bias thing because like we know that the most recent Marvel movies haven't been like 100%,
Mm.
but I feel like they have been better than the recent DC movies. Not counting like the Matt Reeves Batman, which is counting like the DCU. movies, and I know they're restarting it, but inside me, there's still that doubt and
Oh, I
fear
got you. It
that
hasn't
they'll
been
be the
totally
best of us.
alleviated yet.
Yeah, because Creature Commandos was okay.
Right.
It wasn't great. It was okay. It was not bad, but it didn't prove to me like, oh, we're getting like this is gonna be a great universe. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. So where it comes down for me, dude, it's an interesting question. It's kind of hard. Maybe it changes on the day, but I think I'm more interested in seeing how Superman's going to work in general.
Yeah,
But like you're saying, it is pretty close. And I wouldn't fault someone for saying Fantastic Four, obviously, because you ask me tomorrow, I might say Fantastic Four. But I don't know, dude. Very exciting times. Which one comes out first? Is it Superman
I
first
think
and
it's
then Fantastic
Superman.
Four?
I think it's Superman's the 14th. Could be wrong, or the 17th.
So they're coming out swinging, dude.
Yeah,
Maybe the narrative over the summer is going to be like which one's the better movie. So that's going to be the
I
or
think
like
I'm
which
just
one's the
gonna.
bigger one, more successful.
I have a hot take.
Okay.
Let's just enjoy them both.
Yeah, I wish that wasn't
Like,
so hot, but I guess that is pretty hot.
you know why? Because like we're gonna be like, oh, which one was better? They're not the same movie at all.
No, no, for sure.
Like they're totally different. Tonally, like the
Right.
characters are different dynamic. Like be like comparing like Wicked and Conclave. Like yeah, they're both nominated for the Oscar,
Right.
and like yeah, one has to win, but they're
Right.
not the same movie.
Let me ask you this though, like just gut check, right? If you were to guess, which one do you think? Not that it matters because we don't care, right? I mean, these are large corporations,
Yeah,
like they don't pay my bills, but which one do you think is going to have maybe the higher box office? Would you say? Like, do you think more
Superman,
people?
100%.
You think Superman? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
We'll have
think
to
it's
see.
Superman because it's the
Or
start
do you
of the
think the
universe.
MCU like cachet name cachet
I
carries
don't
it?
think
Or...
the MCU will ever really have a major loss
Mhm.
as far as box office. Like people are always gonna even go hate watch it.
Right. True.
I think the reason why I think Superman's gonna be more successful is because it's the start of a new universe and it's the first superhero. I could be wrong about that statement, but you know what I mean.
I think he's widely regarded as like the first one when you think of superhero. Like people have saved
Yeah,
people before and stuff like that, but he's like the first like dude in a cape with the
yeah,
trunks or whatever. Like the first,
yeah.
I guess. So
So I think that's why. I think it's like, oh, it's an exciting new venture.
yeah. Plus like the worldwide appeal. Maybe he there. Like not saying the Fantastic Four are not popular characters, but maybe in terms of Marvel, they're not like
Yeah,
worldwide. They're not like the top dog in the same way like Spider Man, obviously, right?
yeah. Maybe
So
2006 was a good time for the movie to be released because we didn't have the Avengers.
right now the Avengers have like
Yeah,
for sure are more
yeah,
popular than
100%.
Fantastic Four
I think
nowadays.
back in 2006, the
Mm,
Fantastic Four were and the X Men were the shit.
yeah,
The
actually, yeah,
Avengers,
good call for the X Men. True,
the
true. Yeah,
Avengers were like this like little like comic book nerdy thing,
right.
and then they became a movie thing, and that's when they surpassed them. But I think back in the day, like they were definitely bigger, at least to the general public.
I would agree with that. I think so. Um, but yeah, I don't know what else to say about as the trailer's wrapping up here again, but they look great in their suits. That's something else you
Yeah.
mentioned, and we're excited about the movie. The cast seems great. They have good chemistry together. Although I guess like the announcement event they did prior to the release of this trailer, super kind of awkward, dude. I don't think it was awkward between the cast or anything. It was like more the person who was
I,
asking the questions.
I think it was too short of an event
Yeah,
because like
yeah. It was like,
with any interview, you
yep.
even like if you watch like some interviews here in the pod, like the first like 5 minutes are like kind of like you're testing each other, you're seeing how
Feeling
it
each other, right,
works, the
right.
dynamic.
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah.
I mean, even like I think when you and I met, like we had talked like online for a bit, not for a bit, for a while, and then when we met, I feel like the beginning was just like let's
I know what you mean. So I guess like for me with that weird question thing in that before the trailer was like, if it was so short, why didn't they just plan it out like way better? Like why didn't
they
she
had
say,
like
"Hey, I'm gonna ask you this," or like why didn't they come
yeah
prepared? Like hey,
They had
lady,
like what,
ask
2 minutes?
Pedro this. Like Pedro loves when you talk about this. Like,
They had 2 minutes, straight up two
yeah,
minutes, and that was it. And I think that's where it fell short. It was like it could have
stopping
been
the
this.
screen share.
It
By
could
the
have been
way,
this like huge event,
right.
but it wasn't.
Yeah, dude. Well, so listen, that's our thoughts on the Fantastic Four trailer. We'll keep an eye on it, guys, as the movie is about to be released, and you know we're gonna do a review on it when it comes out, dude. So
Yes.
we're looking forward to Fantastic Four. Should we get into the next topic, dude?
Let's go for it. Let's go for
All
it.
right. So Christian,
I know you're
there's
excited.
3 Batman titles that just in general, um, I think that a lot of people will get enjoyment out of.
Okay.
But for you in
Okay. This
particular,
is just for me.
right? These are for Christian. Like just in case you're not reading them, I have a feeling you're going to be reading like I think you're reading Absolute Batman, but
Yeah.
that's one of the 3 that I will be giving a shout out to. But so I've got 3
I think I read up to
titles here,
4.
guys.
Yeah.
3 of them here. Which one do I want to start with? Let's start with Absolute Batman because I already said it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, dude.
The only one I haven't read is the last one, so we can
Okay, so
get
the
it.
one I'm holding in my hands right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, dude, I guess in general, just tell me your thoughts on Absolute Batman. Let's just glaze Absolute Batman for a little bit though, because
Oh,
it's so
I
good.
was just gonna be like, it's good.
No, dude, let's glaze it, dude. Wait, you don't
Okay.
think like are
No,
you
it's
not so
great.
hot
It's
on it?
great.
Okay,
It's great.
I got you.
Without going much into MegaCon, I
Okay,
I ran into Speed Solden, Cosmic Color, everyone in their podcast group, which I'm
nice.
forgetting
The
right now.
Hall of Nerds, the Hall of
The Hall
Nerds.
and all the nerds were there.
Yeah, yeah. Did they
And
recognize you, dude?
yeah, they did.
Okay, right on. Right.
I walked in like say 11:30, right? And they were in line to meet to get the comic signed by Scott Snyder, and no joke, and I could text them and confirm this with them. I think I saw them at 4 p.m. and they were like at the front of the line.
No way. So they
Yeah,
like were there all day.
it was like 5 hours. So like that just gives you an idea of how good
Yeah.
Absolute Batman is.
It's like the hype right now. It is the hype
It
on the
is,
streets
yeah.
for sure.
And,
Okay,
and
so that's good that you're
it's
reading that. That's
it's
good.
really fun.
Yep.
First of all, I think it's certainly a different Batman, which is the whole point of it, but it doesn't stray away from Batman's values.
Batman's Valleys. Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to, and I'm glad you started with it, right? Batman's Values. So a lot of people are having issues with, I don't know, the way that the story is told, right? So like it being a narrator outside point of view, it's Alfred, Agent Alfred. So people are maybe feel like it isn't as like personal.
Well, I think what we
You know what
gotta
I'm saying?
understand is that a lot of people are stupid.
Like we're not getting like the inside of
No,
Batman's.
but I think it shows from like I think
That's
it's
what I would say too. It shows like, because of
because we're
he's
getting someone psychoanalyzing him from afar. So we
right.
are getting an insight from someone who's an expert on analyzing people.
That's exactly what I would say, right? Is because he's an outside point of view, he has like a unique
Yeah,
introspective look into how Batman is
it's the
operating and
whole point of it.
yep.
He's being psychoanalyzed. Every decision he makes is analyzed. He's keeping a record on him. I
And
don't think
then
we
I
can.
would say if people have issues with that too, like the it not being as personal, whatever. I mean, guys, each flashback scene is like
Yeah, it's
heartbreaking stuff. It's like Scott Snyder,
the
like peak
flashbacks.
right there
The
stuff. You know what I'm
flashbacks
saying?
are
Like,
not told from Alfred's perspective. He wasn't there.
mm. Yeah, and they all have importance. They all kind of
Yeah,
tie back later to the story.
I think people are just like complaining because it's free.
Right.
Not the book complaining.
Complaining is free. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I've been loving it. So, okay, another thing, more of a positive note, dude.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on, because I think when we first started talking about this, it was like when the series first started coming out. At
Yeah.
this point now, what do you think about Batman's entire like suit? Like it's not so much his
Okay, I'll say
utility
this.
belt and his fist. It's like his whole suit is a weapon.
I'll say this, and I think it's
Yeah,
a good point. I
right.
sort of forgot about it as the book went on,
Okay, so yeah,
which is good 'Cause first issue, I was so distracted by looking at it,
Right.
and it
It's like
feels
what is you
natural.
can almost can't believe it.
But it feels normal. It feels natural. So it's a compliment that I forgot about the suit.
Right.
It's like I could, like it's just a part of him now. I'm not like, oh my god, like I gotta analyze this suit every time I watch it. It's not distracting. It's just like it's him. It's Batman. I'm
It's
not
how
thinking
this
about it
Batman
anymore.
does it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think that's
The
the best thing. Like, you can get distracted in the first issue of any book, but like by the second one or third one, it should be just the norm.
yeah, dude. I so when I'm watching him in this latest one, right? So he's kind of not spoil anything. He's taking the fight to Black Mask or whatever. Right? He has to make a
Yeah,
decision to, accept Black Mask's deal or not.
yeah.
But the ensuing fight scene, dude, this is like if you're looking forward to the fighting, this is like the best fight scenes in any of them. But I guess another thing I'd ask you is, what are your thoughts on this Black Mask, dude? This guy's a menace, bro.
I think it's a
This
good
guy's a
villain.
crazy, bro.
Because it's the first time we get like not the first time for me. Okay, it's
Okay.
the first time I get a villain that's like, oh yeah, he's here now, but he's destroyed every other country he's been
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, you're probably right. He's like, this is just like another one of his
Yeah.
stops, right? Like
After
he's
this, he's gonna keep going. Like this to him means nothing.
right. Another day, another dollar, dude.
Yeah, that to me was the important part. They never mention it like that, but to me, it's like if he's done it so many times, this is nothing to him.
Right.
This is another day.
And another thing too that I really enjoy that Scott Snyder is doing is he's kind of, it's like what's maybe this is the wrong word. Forgive me, guys, but like democratizing crimes. Like he's like incentivizing people to go out, and it's like, yo, like steal this car, bro, and you kill the owner of the car. I'll give you $500, brother. So
Yeah.
it's like people are going out trying to get like
Yeah, Pokemon go to the
go
streets
commit some
and
crimes, like, and yeah, so it's just like this super interesting
it's
kind of
good.
idea, like how in a world that's so like corrupt and so
But I think
resistant
it
to
doesn't
good.
feel it doesn't feel so far off from reality.
Yes, if someone created an app where you could
Yeah.
get paid to commit crimes, there would
Remember
absolutely be thousands and thousands of
movie
dollars.
with Emma Roberts and Dave Franco, I think? No, it was it.
Um,
No, it's Emma Roberts. Fuck, what's it called?
Dang it, dude.
You
I
know which
love
one?
Dave Franco, so
I don't know if it's with Dave Franco. It could be. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now, and you're gonna be like, okay, that's what it feels like. Nerve.
I think
Okay,
I've seen that.
it sort of feels like that. It's like they join this like app and they get told like steal a motorcycle right now.
Okay, I
Steal.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
It feels like Nerve.
I think you know what? I don't know if I've seen that movie. That seems like one of those that movies that always has a trailer
Yeah,
before a DVD that you're about to
yeah.
watch,
And I'll
and
tell
you
you
watch
this:
the trailer for Nerve. It's like, oh,
I
that looks
I
interesting.
doubt that Scott Snyder watched Nerve, but still.
Right. It's still cool. It's still cool though. Um, but yeah, man. So okay, listen. Maybe that's enough Absolute Batman glazing. I'm glad you're reading it, dude. I wanted to make sure,
I
dude.
am.
That's a nice
I
little
am.
check
No,
in.
no. I haven't been to the store in the past 2 weeks, so I gotta pick up that. And Absolute Wonder Woman, I haven't picked up.
Right on,
I
dude.
I,
Oh
I
yeah,
read the
dude.
first. I read the first one or two, but I gotta catch up.
The next one I want to talk about, because you were asking me about this one,
Yeah, that's the only one I care about. I mean, I care about
Batman
all.
Dark Patterns, dude.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, dude. So this one, okay, I'll just say one. I'll say four words.
Yeah.
Dan Waters. Maybe that doesn't excite you that much. Maybe it does. Those of you out there, you'll be excited about it. The other one,
I have
Hayden Sherman.
I have name blindness, but Hayden Sherman is good because
Yeah.
I just read a Hayden Sherman book. I didn't know who he was before. Like I followed him. Don't know why. I
I
keep getting
think
this thing
Hayden
where
Sherman, just so you know, it's one of those things. I think
it's one of
Hayden
my.
Sherman is they, them, just so you know.
Oh,
As we,
I
just so you know, it's not one of the,
no.
no
Let's go
worries.
for it.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So I'll put it like this.
yeah.
Not about the pronouns. I hadn't read anything with art by Hayden Sherman,
Yep.
and then I read Above Snakes because I'm writing a book,
I
which
love Buff
people know.
Snakes, dude. So good.
I've been writing a book, and my friend Matt, shout out Matt. I don't know his last name. It's like a running joke in my head. Um, he read the script of the comic, and he was like, "Oh, you should read Above Snakes."
Okay, I got you.
And I
Nice.
was
So
like,
it's a good recommendation.
and I
Nice.
was like, I feel like Kody has recommended this to me, and you know how I don't listen to you, and I just listen to
Oh,
other
dude, at
people.
some point I must have because it's a
Oh,
cowboy
100%.
book, dude. So you know I was
Yeah,
all
100.
over it.
No, you definitely recommend because as soon as Matt said it, um,
Mm,
I went in and first page, I was like, oh, the art's so good.
I
That's
love it, dude.
to me. It was like if I'm making this book, I want them to make the art for it.
I got you. So you like picture like a Hayden Sherman type
Oh,
of
I picture
art
it
for you.
so
So,
much.
dude, the thing about Hayden Sherman, it's so interesting having followed, and they were doing stuff before I started reading Above Snakes, but I think they were doing a series called like Chicken Devils. That's also a pretty good
Oh,
one.
I Chicken Devil. I think
Or
I read the
Chicken
first.
Devil, yeah. The
I
sequel
read
Chicken
well. They
Devils I
yeah.
haven't read, but
I read the first one.
so it's fun. It's been really fun kind of tracking Hayden Sherman's career, I guess, and then
If I remember correctly,
yeah, yeah.
loved the art style. Didn't love the unnecessary violence, or was that not it?
Could be Chicken
No,
Devil. There was a lot of violence.
no. I'm thinking the book you didn't like the violence in was the ghost sewer like plumber soul plumber.
Soul Plumber, yeah, that one I did not
Okay, I'm
like the.
sorry, I got mistaken. No, but their art is amazing. Like if I'm putting it
Mm,
out there, I don't think Hayden Sherman would care to work my book, but that's what I want. It's
no, Hayden
exactly
Sherman
what I
is
want.
doing way bigger things than.
I
No
know, no,
offense to you, buddy, but
100% no. But what I mean is like that's my type of art. That's what I look for in
I got
general,
you.
even to read. So you're telling me Hayden Sherman's doing this Batman book? I want to read everything they've made.
Yeah, so Hayden Sherman's doing this Batman book, writing it, or sorry, drawing it, and Dan Waters is writing it. So Dan Waters right now he's overdoing the Nightwing title. He took it over after Bruno or Tom Taylor left it. But
Okay.
so Hayden Sherman is also doing Absolute Wonder Woman, like you mentioned, right? So while they're doing Absolute Wonder Woman, this is why it's so impressive what Hayden Sherman is doing. Hayden Sherman's doing Absolute Wonder Woman, but then doing Absolute. Sorry, they're doing
Oh,
Batman Dark Patterns as well. Look at the villain
okay.
in this story. The villain's
Oh
name is
wow,
Wound Man. Okay,
love it.
Wound Man has just a bunch of like nails and like pieces of metal like jutting out of him in like his arteries and stuff. So
Okay.
Batman has to like can't fight him because if he punches him, he's gonna like push a bunch of nails into his head or whatever. So he's gotta
Okay.
like be
Wait.
careful how he handles the Wound
They
Man.
they do go by they them, so I apologize. I did
No,
see
you
that
didn't
right
know.
now.
Now you know, but
Well, no, of course,
you
but
didn't know.
I want to make sure.
Yeah.
But
So
phenomenal art. I I'll say this.
Wound Man,
Truly,
brother.
truly, I didn't know anything about this book beforehand, and that's why this was the one I was most excited for because I thought I knew you'd pull some shit like Absolute Batman. Not to say
Yep.
it's bad, but it's classic.
Right.
But I I was excited to read it because you like it, and I do care about your opinions, contrary to what I say. Um, but now that I hear Hayden Sherman's in it,
Yep.
I could show my text with you. Like we literally talked about Hayden Sherman yesterday.
Right. Right.
Like I just finished Above Snakes. I
So
was entranced by it.
so the other thing too, like I think when I am reading a Hayden Sherman thing, especially here, this to me doesn't that kind of look like Tim Sale?
Yes,
So like to
yes,
me, it's got the spirit of like a Tim Sale, like Jeff
but
Loeb,
it's
just a
it's the
down to nuts and bolts detective Batman story. Like he's going around like solving crime. So if you're
yeah,
looking
but
for
to
something
me
like
it's
that,
the texturizing with just line art,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
textures, shadows, just line art, phenomenal. It's not such like harsh shadows, more like just detailing.
Right. I really like Hayden Sherman's facial expressions too. I think they're pretty
Yes.
expressive, and the paneling sometimes gets really wild, and especially in this Batman Dark Patterns
If
series.
and I'll put it up on the screen. If anyone's interested in Hayden Sherman as an artist, their drawing for the first page of Above Snakes is all you need.
Ooh,
Just
nice.
that.
Yep.
Just the first page, just like the villain crouching down, telling you a story.
Mm.
All you need. That
So
is
this is another
exactly.
good example. Do you see how kind of Hayden Sherman is using like the dude's
Yeah,
suit or
yeah,
whatever just as
hundred
a
percent.
panel, right? Like that's just didn't need to do it that way. I mean, you could have had it just cut off there and like start a new panel, but
Yeah,
they kind of like blend it and kind of make it flow with what's
it's.
going on in the story. So
I think
very
you have
great
to
stuff
stop
from
talking
Hayden
about
Sherman, dude.
other Batman books. We got it now. This is good. That's it. I honestly did not know who the artist was until right now,
No,
and
yeah.
that's
So it's
the
just someone who is doing
how
really great stuff over at DC. Dan Waters, great detective
Da-
stuff with the
yeah.
Nightwing, but also
Dan
has done
Waters I
great
knew,
detective
but
detective indie stuff. And then
yeah.
Hayden Sherman's knocking it out of the park. It's just insane to me how they're doing. So this is apparent. This is the end of arc one.
Oh,
Apparently
how
they
many
have like
issues?
it's 3 issues right now.
Okay, okay.
Apparently they have like a huge plan for this. Like they have like 3 issue arcs like coming out, and it's going to be like a big long thing. So I guess this is gonna be like a series for real. So definitely check it out, guys. Make sure you support it. I want this to go forever, dude. It's really,
I
really some great stuff.
We need artists to, not to say that we have bad artists right now, but we need artists to sort of like be more unique. Like that panel where the suit became the panels themselves. That's what we need. That's
More
what.
stuff like that.
Yeah, break the norm.
All right, the next series though. I know you said that's it. That's the only
No, no,
Batman
we
series you
can go
need,
for a
but
quick one.
listen, dude, I'm telling you
Okay, yeah.
guys, Batman Off World.
That's I knew you. I know you, Cody. I know
Dude,
you
it's
so.
so lame how nobody's reading this. I haven't heard that much
No,
hype
it's
about it.
phenomenal. The art is also, who does the art for that one?
Doug Mankey, he's the
Okay.
penciler.
No, that was really good. I did love that book. It took me a minute with issue number one to get into it, but it's
Mm,
because I think issue number one is a little bit of a lot of like setup.
for sure.
But
Yeah,
once
I
you
mean,
find out
listen.
why he's off world, I'm good. Yeah, let's keep
So like
reading.
to give people not like to spoil it or anything, but give people the kind of setup. It's like how does Batman know how to fight aliens and stuff, right? Like where did he learn kind of to do that? To
Yeah,
me, this series kind of fills it in where a Batman, if he sees like an alien in Gotham, he's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He kind of tries to fight the alien, like, "Oh, this isn't working. You're totally unlike anything I fought before." So Batman's like, "All right, I got to go out into space and try
yeah,
to learn how to combat aliens. That way, if they ever come down to Gotham, dude, I got it. I can take
straight
care of
up.
it." So that's kind of Batman's mission. While
Yeah,
he's out there, though, he gets caught up in there's this
the
mining company where they go and
politics of space.
they take over planets and they
Yeah,
take care they steal all the children. It's called the Black Sun Mining Company. So while Batman's out there, he gets caught up and he has to save this planet of orphans, this entire planet from the Black Sun Mining Company. So that's
yeah,
kind of like his ultimate goal. Um, but here's the thing, right? You said that it took a little bit to kind of start up and get going.
yeah.
That's just Jason Aaron, brother. I don't know why, but he kind of takes like
No, it
a
makes
little
sense.
bit to kind of set
Is,
it up and get going.
is he doing TMNT?
He is, yep. So
Yeah,
same
I
same kind
think
of
issue
thing.
number two of TMNT was the one that got me.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
I get if people maybe they dropped off, but
yeah. I'll
listen,
say this:
guys.
if you guys want to know, like, and Cody, you might have some thoughts after me. I'm not saying this is the last thing we have to say about this book, but if you like if you like Batman stories, maybe this isn't for you. If you like good comics, this is for you. Put aside who Batman is, because we do see Batman in this book, and he is doing Batman stuff. But put him out of his element. Put him in a real predicament where he does not know how to get away from it, and he has to learn. And it's sci-fi, and there's aliens, and it feels like just it could be. It doesn't have to be Batman. It could be any guy. It's a phenomenal story. It's a good arc.
Yeah, dude.
This,
So, though, so I guess the last thing I'll say about this, I mean, you made a lot of great points there. The one thing I'll say is that Jason Aaron has a one of his strong suits is kind of driving narration, like
mhm.
his kind of like narration boxes. He has a
Yeah,
really great like pacing and rhythm to it. So there's this one sequence, not to spoil anything, but there's someone who's trying to kill Batman by whispering in his ear. This person has killed entire planets by whispering in people's ear. whispering in Batman's ear. Batman's sitting there and he's like fighting it off. And then it kind of goes and goes, and it turns out that, oh, Batman is like so strong. This guy's like, why isn't it working? Why isn't Batman like dying when I'm whispering? And then Batman starts whispering back to him, dude. And it just gets like so fucking epic. And he says, and I whisper back, and then it turns and it turns, and he's like, I'm Batman. It's like, dude, it's so sick. So I think that if you're
I
looking
think they should
for,
cast you for the next animated
oh, dude,
Batman.
it was just so epic. And at the very end of this too, and this isn't a spoiler either, you're gonna forget about it by the time you read this,
I'm
guys.
not,
But
but go for it.
there's a Batman out in space, dude. So kind of like the ideals of Batman kind of spread, and there's like a Batman. One of the characters in the story becomes the Batman out in space, bro. So it's just like a
Good.
really great way to cap it off.
As
It's
a
like,
reader of this book who hasn't read the last issue, I'm excited to see who it is.
and it's like, and it's so perfect, dude. So yeah, so when
It's
Batman
phenomenal.
finally gets back to Gotham, he's like, dude, everything he learns, he puts it back into use. It's a great story. So
I'll say
yeah,
this: not
Batman
only
Off
one of the
World,
best, not only one of
definitely
the
read
best
it, dude.
Batman books out there right now, it's one of the best DC books out there right now.
Yeah, I would say so. The
Yeah.
the one bad thing and the kind of unfortunate was that this series suffered a lot of delays, and that's because,
Yeah,
listen, guys, it's a Doug Mankey joint, brother. That guy has more delays than anybody else in the
I'll
world.
say this right now.
Um,
Hey,
pretty
a
unfortunate.
lot
Yeah.
of I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this, so this might be a lot of people's first time hearing about it. So no delays for them. It's done.
The Batman Off World's done now. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
guys can
brother, it's
definitely.
done, dude. They can just go read it.
Yeah, it's just so classic. Like if a Doug Mankey is on it, it's gonna be, oh, by the time you finish it, it's gonna have at least like 3 month delay or something. But
That's
great
funny.
stuff. I mean, the end result's great. But
It was worth the wait as a reader of the book who got
so those
issue
are
number
those are
one.
the three Batman stories that I want to recommend to Christian and all you guys out there. Last topic, dude. Brave New World. Let's get into it, brother. Let's close it out. The newest MCU project. Where to begin? Oh,
Brave New World. How do I put it? I was not a big reader of Aldous Huxley when it comes to dystopian stories that they give you in high school. No, I'm kidding. It's not that Brave New World. I'm sorry for all the literature heads out there who got excited
my
for a
book for
second.
February.
I know. I'm reading it too, so.
Oh, nice.
I just had to pull it out because I know I'm reading it and I know you're reading it too. Good book.
It's pretty good so far.
We're talking about the lesser Brave New World.
Brutal, but yes,
Um,
that is true.
I'll say that Brave New World is not a bad movie. It's just riddled with unnecessary things. And
Okay.
I think, I mean, let's get to the meat and bone of the problems. It's Sabra, who's not really Sabra, but like they didn't need the character. As far as I'm concerned, and anyone who can correct me, and please do because we're trying to learn here. Sabra in the comics is a pro-Zionist character. That's what I've read. I did my research before this episode. But once again, if I'm wrong, please let me know.
Right.
So that's why, like, especially with the climate right now, the political climate that we won't get into because, I mean, we don't know enough. It just felt out of place to put that character in the movie that the character didn't need to be in the movie. Even after
Right.
watching the movie, the character didn't need to be in the movie. It could have been anyone. You could have grabbed Kody and put him in that role, and it would have been the same thing.
I wouldn't have been so short too. I would have been so weird, like right next to Anthony Mackie. There's like a 3 foot height difference, whatever. I guess,
But I think that's the main thing. I think they did cut back on the Sabra of it all. They did remove the superhero aspect of it, and just made it more of an agent. But still, knowing what it was, they could have removed the character. That's all I'll say about that. Kody, you have anything to add to that?
no, I mean, I guess that's obviously the source of a lot of the controversy leading up to this movie. It's kind of talking to Christian like how to approach the whole thing. I think we're not gonna hold punches. Like I guess if you thought we were gonna come, it's a different thing if you're trying to play nice with Disney. Like you got some sponsorships you gotta uphold, and you want to play nice with them and never say a bad thing about them and kind of toe the line. But we're not like friends of Disney, dude. So we're not gonna like pull any punches. We're just gonna be honest with
But even
our
if we
thoughts.
were,
And I
I think
think,
the best thing you can do is be honest. Like, because if you just hire someone who's always going to be a yes man for the company, it's not going to come as genuine. So we're
yeah,
going to
but
say
that's
what
what
we
like
think.
versus other people where
Yeah.
they might be kind of worried about, oh, kind of bringing up the topic or whatever. I think,
No, we're bringing it up. And we're
yeah,
admitting that we don't know enough. And that's important. We
yeah, for
know,
sure. So if you're expecting us to like, I guess only say a good and positive thing, like Disney, like fuck you. I mean, straight up, like
but
we can be.
we're also not just going to shit on the movie because I don't think it was a bad movie.
No, and there are, it's what do you do to like the other people that were involved? Like Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie, I mean, by all accounts, he's a good
Anthony
and
Mackie,
honest guy, and
his
it's
first big protagonist role.
right, and it's unfortunate that Anthony Mackie, it was
Yeah.
all these
As Captain
controversies,
America,
so
a very
it's
like
not,
a very big controversy as far as like I feel like white America.
yeah,
Anthony Mackie being Captain America. So it is a polarizing movie, and I think adding Sabra didn't bring anything.
right, true,
But let's get into the movie. I have my theory of once again not a bad movie, but I know what would have made it a great movie.
okay, interested to hear that at some point.
I'll do it right
Um,
now.
well, so I guess yeah, sure, just lay it on us, dude.
Do not show me Red Hulk in the promotional posters, trailers. Not at all.
So I mean, sort of related to that. I mean, the fact that what's the guy with the weird head, brother? Matt, what's his
The
name?
leader.
The leader, right? So
Yeah.
the fact that I knew that the leader was also in the movie at some point, maybe
But I
that
think
one wasn't on them necessarily. I think that one maybe was like a toy leak or something like
no,
that.
it's casting.
Casting leak shirt. You find out he's in the movie. It's like, oh, I guess he's gonna be in
Yeah.
the movie. But
But here's
yeah, I
the
mean,
thing.
same thing with Red Hulk. It wasn't. Yeah, that would have been like a cool
No, but
moment
here's
to
the
be
thing.
like,
If you
oh,
tell me the movie has the leader as the villain and then surprise me with Red Hulk, it's a much better twist than knowing that Red Hulk is going to be the villain and surprising me with the leader.
I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah,
Because the leader, it could have just been like, oh, we know this is some like, like this like deep like spy thriller sort of like where the leader is the moving all the parts around, and we know Ross is the president. That's cool, but like, don't show us the Red Hulk. That's the exciting part. That's the climax. We already knew what we were getting into with the climax.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Good fighting scenes. As far as like special effects, I can only complain about like one green screen part at the end in the Rose Garden, or not the Rose Garden,
Cherry
the
blossom
Cherry
sequence.
Blossom, which like I parked there once, by the way. Um,
Nice. Yeah, yeah. No, okay. So that's the other thing too. I guess we're getting into spoiler. I guess you guys probably already know this, and if you're listening this far, you probably already know. But I think we're getting into spoilers for sure,
yeah,
right?
okay. Spoiler alert. Leave and come back when you finish the movie.
Okay. That way we can just don't have to worry about it. So, no, dude, I think you made a lot of great points. Great. Let's do a positive real quick though. I'm just gonna go down my list a little bit too.
Okay.
Highlight Anthony Mackie
Yeah,
and
great.
what's the other guy he played opposite of Falcon?
Wait, yeah, no, we know him. I'm
You know
not
what I'm
gonna.
talking about? I thought they were great together. I thought
Yeah,
those were some of the highlights of the movies with them going back and forth, showing a lot. To me, a negative is just a heavy-handed exposition lines
yeah.
where it's just people like literally talking, like they're just saying
Say this. I
the
think
plot.
Giancarlo Esposito was a good little. He was used for exposition, but it was the exposition that I cared about the least. That one didn't
Yeah,
bother me.
I guess when I was saying that, I wasn't thinking about his character. I thought
Oh,
he
okay,
did
okay.
good with what he was given, but just overall in the beginning, like they literally start the movie with like 10 minutes of like
Yeah,
Betty Ross is General Ross's daughter, and she
yeah,
hates him. It's like,
yeah.
okay, brother, like I got you, I got you.
It
Like,
felt like a recap of the Hulk movies told through
yeah,
like walkie talkies or like earpieces. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly. So
Sam, you're
that
approaching the church. Don't forget. Also, Ross is really angry at you. Don't forget.
exactly,
He used to
exactly.
be a general. They call him Thunderbolt Ross for a reason, and his daughter
That's
hates him. He
Exactly.
also
Like you're literally
shaved.
doing it beat for beat, like the first 10 minutes of the movie. So that was like the first 2 points I had. I was like, instantly, I was like, oh, dude, Anthony Mackie. Like that's why you buy a ticket, right? It's because Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie's such a G. He has great stuff. And then the second note I had was just overhanded exposition, just hit you in the
Yeah.
head with it, like with
Hmm.
like a
Immediately.
brick right in the face.
Immediately.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the other thing I'll say too, dude, after the first initial fight scene, Anthony Mackie. I'm gonna keep calling him Anthony Mackie instead of Captain America. I
Captain
don't know why.
America.
Yeah. When he takes care of the scene, right? The first mission,
Yeah.
they get the canister back. He's speaking Spanish
Yeah.
um, to the people that were captured, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, that started making me tear up. I don't know why. It was kind of a cool moment. It was like, dude, okay, so he's not just Captain America. He's like for
Yeah.
the world too. You know what I'm saying? He's like a
I'm glad you told me he's not just Captain America because you've been refusing to call him Captain America this entire episode, Cody.
right, but everybody knows what I'm talking about when they
I
say
thought
when
you
I
were a
say
part of the
Anthony
problem,
Mackie.
dude.
Um, isn't it better to call him as the actor instead of
If we're
the
talking about
fake?
his skills as a performer, which we are, then yes.
Okay,
If you call him Falcon, that's where I'm gonna be like, okay.
I'm not gonna call him Falcon for sure. Yeah,
No, I know
but
you,
anyway, so I
Cody.
like
Don't
that
worry.
moment. Just initially, I was like, you mentioned Esposito. I was like, dude, this
Yeah.
guy needs to be in it more, brother.
Well,
There
I
was like
like the misdirect of it.
the misdirect of it. Yeah, yeah. I just like, dang. I hope we see him later on, brother. I hope he's
Okay,
not
okay.
gone because I think he's such a
Once
cool guy.
again, if you give me the leader and an Esposito in the trailer, that's enough for it to be a good movie. And then you
Right.
surprise me with Red Hulk in the movie theater.
Speaking about the leader, I wish that his design was like way different, bro. Like, what'd you think of the leader's design, just in general?
I'll tell you this. I liked it because it felt more grounded than just a big guy with a big green head. Like
The
this
big
guy
green
was
head.
mutating and his brain
Yeah.
was holding all of it. So I did like that. I was like, okay, I get it. I love them in
Yeah.
holes too.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I guess for me, dude, I was like, I don't know. I guess I thought it looked different. I don't know. I wasn't a
It
big
looked
fan of
goofy,
the.
but I think it was meant to be like kind of
It's like,
goofy.
yeah. I guess I wanted his head taller. I guess I wanted more of a 5 head, 6 head.
Cody wanted more head. Cody wanted more head.
Barely had a forehead, brother. Um, what'd you think of Bucky? Seeing Bucky in the movie.
Oh, it's so cool. It made me that part made me like not tear up, but it got me
That was
emotional.
cool. It seems like Bucky's like running for office, man. I guess
Yeah,
that'll lead into
Congress.
how is that going to work with Thunderbolt? I guess we'll
Well,
have to
that's the
see.
thing. We don't know if Thunderbolts is before or after.
Oh, we don't know that. Okay, interesting.
I
I
don't
assumed it
know.
was after, but
Here's
that's
the
a good
thing. You
point.
don't do you know?
I just thought it was like I
I
thought it
don't
would
know.
be
I don't know
after, but
either. So
right,
statement stance. He had
right,
longer
right.
hair, and okay, here's my reasoning. He has longer hair in Thunderbolts. He has shorter hair in this one. I think he cut his hair after Thunderbolts to look more Congress-like.
Mm,
That's my
that could
theory.
be. Speaking
Um,
of Thunderbolts, really quickly, they played a really good trailer
oh
before.
yeah, it looks
So
so
I was
good.
like, Thunderbolts looks pretty. This is like the
Music
best I've
choices.
seen of this movie. That looked pretty good.
Sentry is worrying, but we'll go with.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know anything about Century, so I'm interested to see how it'll work. Um, so yeah, so hold on. You mentioned earlier, right? The spy thriller kind of aspect of it, and then you got like the kind of like Top Gun Maverick kind of
Yeah,
influence. You kind of see like the aerial flight scenes,
yeah, which I
and
liked.
which I like too. But in my opinion, I feel like the big negative overall that I have with this movie is that it doesn't turn the knob like enough into the spy thriller. Like it didn't give me
Yeah,
enough of because
yeah.
I just watched the Winter Soldier.
For such a political movie, it
Exactly,
didn't
dude.
get very political.
Right. It's like it's either do it or don't, right? Like don't like
Yeah,
half step it. Like you're talking about like the injustice of
yeah,
the prison system and like how people are in there for lifetime and they shouldn't
yeah.
be and they're actually innocent. And then you're
Go
like,
into it.
yeah, like dig in a little bit if you're
Pop off,
gonna
Queen. Like we
have
get
that
it.
as part of your
See it.
story. Or like the legacy of the mantle of Captain
Yeah.
America. Like he
No.
touched on it in like 3 lines, but
He
like
tells him like, "You're not Steve. You're not
right. And I
Steve."
feel like that right. I was kind of looking for a little bit
Yeah.
maybe more. in those aspects, like I feel like they just
Honestly,
kind of played it safe, just in all
get
aspects,
it,
right? Like they
get into the race aspect, which they touched on a little bit with
right
Isaiah
at the
Bradley.
the
But
end, they had like a nice
show me
moment
more
too.
because it is important to bring race into it. It is about
Exactly. So
race.
you're touching on exactly what I was kind of exactly trying to express is like you didn't lean into anything
The movie
in
is a
general,
statement.
just
The
right.
movie is a statement on its own. You made Captain America a black man. You made Falcon a Latino man. Make a statement. It's your moment.
Right, and then it just kind of plays it safe for the most of it, even
Don't
kind
make
of tonally or like the genres that it's kind of going for,
and
but
don't make it like
even
a
its
cutesy
theme and its
statement.
message.
Because, for example, I think the statement at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the name of the show. It was kind of corny, but I just think, I mean, like the message was important. I just think the way
Yeah,
it was delivered, like in the show, the setting was corny. Hey guys, this is the Christian editing this podcast, and I wanted to say that since making the podcast, I have rewatched the speech part of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I have to admit that I was wrong. I don't know why I thought it was corny. It was a phenomenal speech, and I thought I would add this to clarify. Um, Continuing with the podcast now. But I think that's the message it should have gone with, because I agree with the message. It's like being a black man with the stars and stripes, not easy. Not a lot of
exactly.
people are going to
So I
accept it.
wanted 100%. So I wanted more of those kind of themes if you're gonna have them in the movie, but then also the kind of genres that it's going for. Like if you're gonna be a spy thriller, like do
Be a
more
spy.
spy thriller stuff. Like you're kind of just like you drove a car like once to like from A
Yeah.
to B. Like you're not really on the run at all.
No.
Like they were, and
Winter
then when you
Soldier
have
is a
the
spy thriller.
exactly, and then when you have like your aerial flight scenes, like you only get kind of like one of them, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. If you're like looking for these different things, you might not find them here. It's kind of all in a blender and kind of toned down, like dialed
Yeah.
down a little bit,
Well, like I
playing it
said,
safe for the
not a
most
bad
part. But
movie. I wouldn't put it at the bottom of Marvel movies, by
oh
the way.
yeah, no. I would
It's towards the
say,
middle.
yep. I would say, like how would I would like just gut check, right? Let me ask.
Yeah.
I'll say the name of a Marvel movie, and you'll say if you think this one's better or worse than the one I just said. Right?
Shoot.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Better.
Okay, I would say this one's probably better too.
Yeah.
Like they didn't fumble it as bad
No, they
as
didn't. They
like
didn't fumble the
Gore got
movie. It just
fumbled.
could have been better.
Exactly. All right, next one. Guardians 3.
Worse.
Okay, I'm trying to find like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like so
Go
it's
for it.
definitely worse than Guardians 3, but it's better than Love and Thunder.
We're
So
gonna
that's
get
like in
some
the
hot
middle for
takes.
me.
We're gonna add some hot takes if you keep asking me.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Spider-Man has a nostalgia factor for me, but if we're going just movie-wise, I think none of them are. Neither of them are. They're both like tied for me.
Okay.
Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man
So
Far
it's
From
in
Home
that
is just
zone.
cool. Spider-Man Far From Home is just cool because it's Spider-Man.
I got you.
We can
Okay.
make one good fight scene in No Way Home and Far From Home.
Let me ask you this though. Even though this is, Anthony Mackie had nothing to do with the previous, it wasn't like his trilogy or whatever, but how do you think this compares to the rest of the Captain America movies?
It was better than First Avenger.
Okay. I would
It
agree with
was
that. I
it
think.
was it was worse than Winter Soldier. And
Okay. Yep.
honestly, this is a hot take. I don't really care about Civil War.
Okay. That might be kind of hot. That might be a little hot.
It's not a bad movie.
Yep.
I just think like a lot of people miss the point of Civil War
Okay.
because
Yeah.
they got too excited about like, ooh, there's like Avengers, and like there's a really important point. Like I cannot sit here and people are gonna like come at me. I cannot sit here and be Team Iron Man.
Right.
Because Team Iron Man is him, first of all, saying, oh, like, we cannot be too emotional. But the reason why he's saying that is because someone told him you killed my kid and he got emotional about it.
Right.
But also surrendering control to the government, which we've seen doesn't work as far as like superheroes goes.
Which
Like,
is interesting to see, I guess, the post-credit scene.
yes.
So I don't know. Just going off your point there, yes, I would agree with that.
I think like that's my thing about Civil War. People missed the
Mhm.
point. Like, oh, Iron Man's cooler. People were choosing teams because of who was a cooler character, not
The
the point.
message,
Yeah, the message. Like Steve, I don't think Steve stood for the United States of America. He stood for the people within the United States of America. I
right?
think that's the thing about Captain America. It's he doesn't stand for the country. He stands for the people.
Well said, dude.
That's my point. This
I
movie
I
was
would
not
agree
as
with
good as Eternals, though. Hot take.
not as good. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Eternals was doing more like it was doing more. It was cooking
Yeah.
more. You know what I'm saying? It definitely
Um,
didn't play it as safe as this movie.
I'll tell
So
you
I guess
this.
that's kind of my like last thoughts. Like if you're doing a gut check, like ranking or whatever or rating,
It's a 7 out of 10, middle of the road.
7 out of 10. I was gonna say like a 6.5, 6,
Okay.
somewhere in that range where
I'm
not
very
an
generous
offensive
with my
movie.
ratings. I'm generous with my ratings.
So I think well, you mentioned the big negative for me. It was going well CGI wise until that end
That
sequence. You're
that
right. In
green
the cherry
screen
blossom, I was like,
in the cherry blossom.
stuff's looking
My
weird. They got all reshoots and stuff like that, but even like the framing, like sometimes you'll show it and then someone's head will be cut off. I'm like,
yeah, it was just not
I,
great.
I guarantee you this was pulled out like another foot or whatever, and
It's
you had
it's
to punch
straight
it in and crop
it's
it.
straight up 30 seconds of the movie.
Yeah, so it is very small, but very noticeable too. You'll
No, but
definitely
I
notice it if
the
you see
fact that
that
we
video.
brought it up was enough.
Yeah.
Um,
So listen, those are my thoughts on Brave New World, brother. That's where I'm
I'll
leaving
I'll
it.
leave you with
What
this.
else you got? Yeah,
The
yeah.
last thing I'll say. The at post credit scene. This is spoilers. So, um, talks about like, hey, new universes. Like, you might be ready for what's on your universe. Get ready for
Mm.
the others. That's what they say essentially.
Yeah. So what do you think that's kind of alluding to? You think that's
I think
alluding
it's
to
the
the
Fantastic
mutants?
Four that I was telling you about. That like
Okay, you
they're
think that's
coming to
Fantastic
this
Four?
one. Not necessarily Fantastic Four, but it connects to my point about the Fantastic Four, where like,
Just people are coming in.
yeah, they're losing against Galactus, and they're going to reach out to other universes. Like those
Hmm.
things are possible within the multiverse, and that's it.
I would
Um,
agree with that.
Kody, I think as a last topic
Okay.
before we say goodbye, we should do. I want to start doing this every episode at least. I want you to just say one book people should read, comic book or novel. Don't explain why. Just be like, you can give like a 10 second.
Don't explain.
Give me like the
Wait,
shortest summary. One book.
you guys should pick up Bug Wars
There we go.
Image Comics, dude. Great number one. And then
Great
how about
number
this?
one.
I'll say one thing. I'll say one thing
No,
about it.
no, go for it.
It's a mix of Ant Bully and Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
So that should get you hyped, guys. Check out Ant Wars
I
or
got
Bug Wars.
a novel, Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I'm sending to Kody.
Yeah, I want to read that at some point. I'll tell you what though, the one thing I don't like about it is that it's like a series with like someone said like 6 books or something. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I'll tell you this. Yes, it's daunting that it's so many books. This is Fallout meets Hunger Games, but with comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And by Fallout, I don't mean the story of Fallout. I mean the video game. It's a video
Yeah,
game
yeah.
mixed with the Hunger Games. It's funny. It's phenomenal. It's honestly like this is a 1 day read.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This to me, like I know I read fast, but like 428 pages, 1 day read. Like you know how good it is. Got the sequel right here.
Nice. Yeah.
Phenomenal book. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna say more.
I like that. Nice. Very
That's
cool.
a recommended. Cody recommends Bug
Bug
Wars. I
Wars.
recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I'll be sure to put him on the Instagram story when the episode comes out.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Okay.
That's been Color Break, dude. Episode 48.
Episode 48.
We'll catch you guys soon with episode 49, dude. We got it all planned out.
I already mentioned MegaCon. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we will be talking about MegaCon. I'll give you guys another hint, you know? We might be talking about Chip Zdarsky's Batman run, dude.
Yes.
As it kind of concludes, and we're getting ready for Hush 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Goodbye, people. We
See you
love
guys.
you, except for the ones we hate. Bye.